Hello, cosmic beings. Welcome to Being Cosmick. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I am so glad that each and every one of you are here. So, we're going to do a collective message today, and I'm going to take a step aside to let spirit pass through. All right. What does the collective need to hear today, spirit? I hope you all are doing well. Okay. Scooch these a little bit. Okay. What does the collective need to hear today? Okay, so the oracle card that came out is Weeping Stones. Allow your heart to soften as you process your grief. Don't become bitter. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna pull some tarot just to get some clarification on this. First, I'm gonna see if there's another oracle card that wants to come out. Nope. All right. What does the collective need to know about processing their grief and not becoming bitter? So, what? Guess we can kind of tap in and like what grief is the collective dealing with? Let's see. Oh, okay. Hmm. Oh, nothing reversed. Okay. Let's see. Um, Give me just a moment while I tap into this energy. So I took a minute to tap in a little more and really attempt to figure out exactly what spirit was saying with this message. What I'm picking up is that for a lot of you, what could be going on right now is that you're at this point of it's almost like a major life pivot is what it feels like. So maybe there's a huge change in career. Maybe you're switching careers. Maybe you are switching move like you're moving to a different location, but it's somewhere that you didn't originally expect. Maybe you are changing ideas around how you viewed yourself in a family sense. For example, let's say you wanted more kids at some point. Now you're coming to a point where you are releasing wanting more kids, or kids in general or something of that nature. This feels like it's a major life pivot in some form or fashion. And that's where this whole concept of allow your heart to soften, process your grief, don't become bitter. Because the thing is like there's really good cards. And that's kind of what threw me. Not that I was expecting like bad cards, but it was one of those like, what grief are you processing? And the cards that came out aren't really what I would expect as far as like, maybe a physical loss of somebody or, something. eh, And actually, okay, so something being taken from you, something of that nature. Energetically, there could have been a situation that happened that you gave away your energy and your power, and now you're calling your energy and your power back. And sometimes when we do that, there is a process of grief almost that does come from that because it's this realization of this whole time I was giving my power away and I didn't have to. and think about what I could be doing or where I could be in life if I hadn't have done that for so long or up until this point, something of that nature. And what the message really that's coming through is you've got the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords. And so what that is that's new beginnings. This is also, I mean, major new beginnings. The Ace of Pentacles is like blessings that are coming in from the universe, basically. And so like this is major blessings. Big time. And then we've got the Ace of Swords. Oh, okay. Something else just came through. So, um, another thing that could be going on is if you are stuck in this energy of processing your grief about the changes and transformations that are going on in your life, you could be not refusing to see. You could be refusing to see these blessings that are coming in. And often when we're not seeing them, we don't really, how do I word that? We're not able to fully enjoy them and process them and allow them to be all that they can be because we're perceiving it from a different lens. And that could be what's going on as well. So with the Ace of Swords, this is often referred to as the ace, the sword of truth. This is very much, it could be a random thought, a random idea that can be life changing. This can be you get a random idea and all of a sudden that's your business idea. That's the new location that you're moving to, something of that nature. So I mean it's big energy. And then we've got the Empress here. And Empress is very much it's the embodiment of the divine feminine energy, which is our receptive energy. Everybody has divine feminine and divine masculine energy within them. Divine feminine energy is the ability to receive. And this is where you are allowing energy and blessings and all of that. You're allowing those things in. And with it being in reverse, what could be going on is there may be, okay, so what I just heard was do your best to step more into this energy because this is going to allow you to process your grief better and really see these opportunities for what they are and bring them in. With that, what's also going to happen is it's going to help pull you out of this hanged man energy, which is it's striking me as a stuck energy right now. So if you feel like you've been stuck, um the message here is things are moving now. And so allow them to move. There is divine justice coming in. And so what I'm picking up, I'm not really picking up like a physical court situation or anything like that. For some of you, maybe that is what's going on. If so, the cards around this are saying that whatever situation that you're facing is going to go in your favor, is most likely to go in your favor. Okay. Heard that? And keep allowing it. Keep focusing on positive outcomes. Okay. For the bulk of the collective, what I'm picking up is that this is like a divine justice thing. This is the type of justice where you've been putting in so much work basically on healing yourself and showing up in your best energy that you can, being, a decent person to other people, doing, looking out for other people, being kind, generous, all of that. The divine justice that's coming in for you is now the divine is bringing you these ideas that are going to lead you and really allow you to step into this Empress energy where you're fertile, you're abundant, and you can be fertile in all aspects of life, not just literally, with the child. For some of you, if that's what you're calling in, then, take that as it resonates. For For a lot of you, though, what I'm picking up is that this is just simply you pulling into your Empress season, basically, which is it's so abundant. It's very fulfilling. It's yeah, it's I mean it's just beautiful. The other card that came out is the Seven of Wands. And what this card is talking about is this is when you're on guard. A lot of times we're on guard because we have to be, or we were trained to be due to different life situations. If you're around a lot of people who, are kind of how can we word this? um Maybe a lot of takers, maybe a lot of people who take your energy basically. That kind of thing where it's not a mutual type of environment where you can just take a breath and hang out and relax and be vulnerable and open and emotionally vulnerable with people and things of that nature. Um this is really the energy where you've got to be on guard. What just came through was it's kind of that energy of like when you're in high school, almost like if you went to a big high school where there's all the cliques and everything, and then you've got to be on guard because one day this friend is nice and the next day they're mean, and it's that like having to show up and be on guard because you never know what you're going to get. That's this type of an energy. And the message here is for some of you, this is still necessary, and continue to be on guard in a healthy way, and also make sure that you're giving yourself some time to take a break. And so even if that means, just taking a little bit longer of a shower or something to where you can just kind of take a few extra breaths. Um, Make sure you're doing that because that's also going to help your nervous system. Um, for others of you, what I'm picking up is that you've been in this energy of being on guard because you've been trained to do so. You've been in environments where that was a requirement for protection, basically. It was a safety mechanism that you developed and it kept you safe. And the thing is now you're shifting into this Empress energy where you don't need to be in this energy as much anymore. But with this unprocessed grief, it can pull you into this energy and it can keep you on guard and not allow in your blessings because of an outdated program that's still running, basically. So it's this you're still in this energy because that's what you've had to be in for a very long time, and the universe is saying that now is time. It's safe to release this, and you'll know when you need to step back into this energy, because there's a time and a place for this. And for a lot of you, what I'm picking up is that it's okay to let your guard down a little bit. It's okay to pull out of that and to allow yourself to be more emotionally vulnerable and open up to those soul connections, and that will help you continue to shift into this Empress energy and really stay in it, and just really bring in these blessings that the divine is giving you right now. Okay. All right. The High Priestess. Okay, so the High Priestess is an energy of waiting. Chariot, though. Okay. All right. So the High Priestess is the energy of it's being patient, it's knowing when to act and when not to act. It's okay. Apparently there's something in the book that wants to come out. So give me just a minute. Let's see. We're hitting that time of day where it's not quite light enough coming in. All right, there we go. So I'm going to show this to you. And then that way, if you want to look at the imagery, there might be something else that you pull from it. So there's the High Priestess. So the High Priestess represents deep wisdom. Sometimes that wisdom comes from outside of us, and sometimes it comes from within. It rarely just lands in our lap accidentally. This card encourages you to embrace your own power, inner wisdom, and knowledge, and to pursue such things outside of yourself as well. What are you seeking? What questions do you need answered? And what can you do to find them? This can represent you, or it may be an indication there's someone you can turn to for help, a mentor, an elder, or someone you respect in your spiritual community. Don't expect this person to just hand you the answers. You're still going to have to do the work for yourself. Be aware of looking at things as being black or white, right or wrong. Life is rarely that simple. Sometimes you have to accept that you can't know everything right now. Okay, and then with the Chariot, what- so the Chariot is it's about movement. Okay, I'm gonna show you the card again. Let's see. So the message of this card is it can be difficult to choose a path, especially if they both look inviting. Ask yourself what it is you truly desire and how hard you're willing to work to get it. Whatever happens, don't allow anyone to make the choice for you. This is your time to be in charge and make the decisions that will shape your future. Choose wisely, then move forward with confidence, knowing that you're capable of making the journey. So, okay, I'm going to see. All three of these. Okay, we're taking all three of these. All right, so the first one that came out is Fulfilling Melody. Integrate your experiences to find your authentic self. Sweet resonance. Okay. Mm-mm. Okay, what just came through for some of you, there's a fork in your path right now, and you're being faced with the decision of this way or this way. And that could be where this hanged man energy is because that's where this stuck energy comes in. And when you're in the energy of being, when you've got unhealed grief or you're processing through grief, that cracks open the heart space into it's an energy that when you're operating from that, it can kind of skew the way that each of the path looks. And so for some of you, integrating the experiences and really coming to a place of really operating from your authentic self, it's going to make the choice easier. Okay. The next one that came out is Alone Together. There's a growing distance between you and others. Reach out to friends. Mm. Okay. Their trust. So for some of you, what could be going on as well that makes it difficult, or that's making it more difficult in this energy right now is what I'm picking up is there's a lot of past hurt and pain from others. And with that, that's when we can kind of be on this on guard energy. And then it's also where we kind of detach emotionally from others. And especially with which one was it? Oh, the high priestess. That might be part of this as well, is open yourself up and allow yourself to bring in a mentor. And that really might help right now. Okay. The next one that came out is resting place. All things are temporary. Find the comfort in the present. Contemplate the moment. And that's just solid advice, like in in general. There's confirmation. Like pull it back into the present. What would be the advice? It's interesting because it feels like there's a part of this message that I'm missing. And it's like it's there, but I'm just not seeing it. And that could be part of the message of your energy right now, is maybe you have these opportunities, you have these things right in front of you, and you're not seeing it fully. You're not um fully allowing yourself to be open and receptive. And that's because the Empress came out in reverse. And normally I don't read this, especially this deck, in reverse, but being that that was the only one that came out in reverse, that is pretty significant. And the fact that it's the Empress, that could definitely be what's going on, is due to this deep, because it feels like deep inner work. This is like deep processing of emotions, of like a like major, core memory kind of situations that really happened that were life changing. And so it feels like you're really going through this process of releasing this grief from major situations, like life changing events. Um, and that makes sense. Okay, so part of it could be because of of the the place of processing a lot of this grief mixed with this being on guard, that could be shifting you into an energy where it's really making it difficult to see things clearly. It's really making it and right when I said that, I just saw the blindfold on the justice card. That really popped out, which normally that's symbolic for like justice is blind. But what right when I said it, I saw the blindfold on there. And so it's almost like you are like you have a blindfold on because you've been processing so much internally and pulling back so much from other people and in the, the outside world and the matrix. I just heard the matrix. Really pulling away and unplugging and really doing that deep, massive, major inner work. And it's beautiful to do that. And then, sometimes we've got to, just kind of pull off that blindfold and step back into, like, I don't want to say reality, but really just allow. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Um, what I just heard is allow your body to process the grief, not your mind. That's powerful. So, especially because for a lot of you, I'm picking up that this is like past grief, that's coming up. Like this is like past heartbreak, past traumatic events and situations. I really am picking that up. This can be when you're really in that energy of you are doing the work of reparenting yourself, um, healing past heartbreaks, like literal romantic heartbreaks, processing major life events that were intense and life changing. Um, I just totally lost the next part of, I just totally lost the train of thought. Interesting. All right, Spirit. Okay, that's part of the that's part of the message. So when we're in that energy of really processing, that's right, thank you. When we're in the energy of processing it, it can be all encompassing, and it can also get us stuck in that energy, especially when we're going at it from the mind. So the thing is the body holds on to a lot of this stuff, and um when we get to a place, oftentimes we've done, if you're at this place in healing and on your journey right now, what I'm picking up is that you've gone through a lot of that mental work to process it that way. And that's one component of it. When this stuff comes back up, when it's your body that's releasing it, it comes up a little bit differently. And the mind is trying to make sense of what the body's doing. And so it'll be like, oh, it's we're releasing this heartbreak. We're releasing this grief. We're doing this and that. And so the mind is trying to make sense of what's happening, and sometimes what's needed is just to go, okay, mind, thank you for that. Thank you for attempting to help me understand it. And also, I don't need to fully understand what my body's doing, because my body is an intuitive, intelligent being, and it's processing it and relieving it and removing it in its own way. And so, with that, listen to what your body needs right now. For some of you, it's going to be 12 hours of sleep a day. And do your best not to be frustrated with it if that is what you need. And I just saw resting. So for some of you, it really is important right now to take that extra rest. For some of you, it's pulling off of sugar. Just heard that. Right there with you. For some of you, it's pulling off of other substances, and you'll know what those are. You'll have already gotten the intuitive hit to do that, or some other signs and synchronicities and messages on what to pull out of um your daily life, is what I just heard. So this is something that you've been doing daily or very regularly, that you're being called to release. And that's going to help your body release this grief as well. Um, what else, Spirit? What else does the collective need to know about this? For a lot of you, using crystals can be beneficial. That is one of the mini series that I will be releasing soon. And so, definitely stay tuned for that as a little side note. Um, Crystals are amazing beings, and they can help us in a lot of ways. And so using crystals right now, if you've been called to do so, definitely do that. Um, oh yes, okay. I'm gonna pull back in. We're gonna look at this card. Okay. This one just came out, and I'll get to the other two in a minute. This one is affirmation for healing the heart. And that is absolutely what I was picking up at first, is healing the heart space. And the thing is too, is oftentimes when we're healing that heart space, our mind is trying to comprehend and understand what the heart is doing. And the heart does its own thing. Like that whole concept of, love is blind, love doesn't make sense, but it's because the heart processes energy and moves it and knows energy in a way that the mind doesn't. And so with that, doing things to pull yourself out of your head basically is really going to help you right now. Um, Journaling, meditation, mindfulness, exercises, all those things will help. And then I'll look these up in the book too a little bit, because there's some recommended like practices that you can do. And I really, really like the way that she presents that information. So I will read these here in just a minute. Um, okay, I'm hearing to read it now. So I'm going to show you this while I read the couple little things in here. Just a minute. Okay, something else that just came through is to slow down. And so for some of you, you're being called to slow down right now. And that really resonates with the beginning of this reading versus where it's at now. At first, the energy was it was very fast, it was rapid, it was very, very, it was moving a lot, but not in a very directed way. It was just a lot of energy that didn't really fully make sense front to back at first. And so that's part of this too, is now it's more slowed down. Now it feels more grounded in. And so that's you're being called to do that as well, is to find a way that works for you to really slow down the energy and allow yourself to process it and not rush the process. The heart's gonna grieve and heal in the heart's time. Um, and oftentimes, from the human perspective, we want it to be done now. We want to be done with this healing. We want to move on to the next thing. Sitting in this cracked open heart space where we're really dealing with processing these heartbreaks and these, this is deep. These are deep wounds. This is like core core wounds that are coming up right now. And oftentimes we want to rush that process and just be like, okay, and especially because we'll talk about it and we'll think about it and we'll process it through the mental space. And then when the heart's ready to process it, it's like, hey, and it processes the body processes things in waves, in cycles, I'm seeing the spiral. So it's that concept of like it'll heal a layer, it'll release a layer, and then it'll go back in and release some more and go back in and release some more. And so when you're going through these major massive heart healing experiences, give yourself time to process it and know that the body will release it when the body's ready. So don't rush it, because by rushing it you can actually block that process as well. Okay. So let's read the little bit on here. This is a really beautiful card. I love all the imagery on these. Okay, here we go. I'm going to show it to you. Affirmation. There we go. Hopefully you can see it all. Affirmation for healing the heart. Life can be tough, and there are times when all of us feel sad and brokenhearted. Relationships that don't work out, the loss of pets or human loved ones, illness, disappointments. There are plenty of things that leave us wounded and aching. It's okay to be sad, but when that sadness doesn't go away or interferes with our ability to function in a healthy way, we may need to look outside ourselves for help in moving past it. That can mean family, friends, a counselor, reaching out to a deity for healing. Be kind to yourself and allow others to be kind to you too. Okay, so for some of you, you are being called to reach out and really find that mentor, find somebody that can help you process what you're moving through. Um okay. So the action behind this card is sometimes the smallest thing can be healing to the heart. Sitting by the ocean, under the stars, petting an animal, playing with a child. Do something nice for someone. Do one small thing today that puts a smile on your face. If that feels impossible, put a smile on the face of another. Tomorrow, do one more small thing. You might be surprised to see how they all add up. You can even allow someone to do one small kind thing for you. And that's a really good way to transmute the energy too, and to really alchemize it and shift it. That's beautiful. I love that. If you do that, definitely let me know. Let me know how that goes. Let's see. Okay, so the main message here is when this card comes out, it's a sign that you have a heart that is in need of healing. If so, what are you doing to help the process along? Are you doing your best to heal, or are you wallowing? If you need help in healing, are you looking for it and accepting it if it's offered? If your heart is doing just fine, and I hope that it is, perhaps this card is an indication you can do something to help someone else whose heart is filled with sorrow. Look around you and see if you see someone who's dealing with heartbreak, reach out and offer a hug or a shoulder to lean on, or just an ear to listen. Okay, so the next one that came out, well, actually, it was the second one that came out, was air magic. So this is really working with the element of air. There's also a falcon on here. So this can be okay, interesting. So what I just heard was that for some of you, it's the opposite of what I was saying earlier. It's so funny when spirit does that. It's like actually, it's the complete opposite of what you were just saying. So for some of you, it's actually not pulling out of your headspace and more into your body. For some of you, it's actually the opposite. And this is going to be, it just depends on which part of this collective that you're resonating with right now. For some of you, you've been so much in your emotional body and feeling the emotions and really just like in that thick, heavy, trying to move all these emotions. And when you've been doing that and you're kind of getting stuck there, it can be really helpful to shift more into um your headspace, which is the air magic, the element of air. And so you can shift out of the body a little bit and more into that headspace, and it will help you process, and it can help transmute that energy and pull out of that. It's like thick energy, like thick, heavy. It's those grief emotions. Like that's they're not fast moving emotions or energy. Grief is it's slow. Um, so for some of you, it's going to be helpful to shift more into your headspace. Um, let's see. And just take what resonates. So if that resonated with you earlier of like, okay, I've been too much in my headspace and processing this and thinking about it and ruminating and trying to figure out why I'm feeling this way and what I'm feeling and how it's feeling. And if you've been doing that, then this is the inner bleh. The message is to pull more down into your body and allow your body to release the emotions. If you've been really sitting in the energy and really just sitting with it and holding it, then the message is to shift more into this space. Let's see. So I'm going to show you the card. There we go. So the message of this card is to embrace the power of air with every breath and send your appreciation out on the breeze. So the recommended action is to really get conscious with your breath. Um, what does it say? Take a few moments to sit and really be aware of the air moving in and out of your lungs. Feel the power you draw in with every breath and the cleansing that carries away what you don't need as you exhale. If you want, visualize the breath coming in as one color and the breath going out as another. Be sure to say thank you to the element for its gifts. Um, it also says if you've been struggling with health or emotional issues, light a sage smudge stick and let the air waft away negativity and illness. And you can do that with other stuff too. It doesn't have to be a smudge. It can be I just heard cedarwood. I was thinking Palo Santo. You can also use an essential oil diffuser if you can't tolerate burning things. Incense, things like that. Um, but anything that, there is some science behind smudging though. Just quick side note, the smoke from sage will actually cleanse the air. It pulls microorganisms out of the air, and it actually like purifies the air legitimately, like at a microscopic level. It's really cool. There have been studies that have actually shown that like there's physical evidence now of it actually cleansing it, which is cool. But just working with the element of air in general may be really beneficial for a lot of you right now. The last one that came out is joy and delight. So I'd assume well, maybe not. Yep. Okay. Let's see here. Alrighty. Let me show you the card. There we go. If you look up joy in the dictionary, you will find a definition similar to a feeling of great happiness or pleasure, especially of an elevated or spiritual kind. In truth, joy means something a little bit different to everyone. Life can be full of sadness and stress, which makes fleeting moments of joy more important. One truly joyous memory can get you through a lot of bad days. It doesn't matter how you define joy. What matters is that you seek it out, that you give it to every opportunity to enter your life, and when it does, make sure to appreciate it to the fullest. If you can do something that brings joy to others, that's a bonus. So the action with this card is to sit with what brings you joy. Is it spending time with friends or family, walking in the woods, by the ocean shore, together with somebody or alone? Dancing, singing, eating a fresh baked cookie still hot from the oven? Do you find joy in ritual, communing with the gods, or playing with children and animals who are so much better at embracing joy than many adults? Make a list of the ways in which you find joy and try to find time to include at least a few in every week. Okay, so the message here really is to allow yourself to feel joy and know that you're worthy of feeling joy, of having joyful experiences. And this is a beautiful way to transmute the energy of grief. Confirmation. Um, Anything else that wants to come out? So I feel like it took a minute to get there, but I feel like we did. And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up because I've gone on a little longer than normal here. Um, I want to honor you and where you're at right now with your healing journey because this is major, major work. This is really good. Good. It'll pay off. I promise. And with that, I just want to take a minute and say if nobody else has told you recently, I'm proud of you. Allow yourself to be proud of yourself. When you're transmuting this and when you're processing this, it's not easy. And continuing to show up every day in your life and choose this journey and choose to do the inner work, it's such a beautiful thing. And just keep doing it. You got this. I mean, there's some awesome sauce cards going on. So just there's this huge message of like be proud of yourself and allow yourself to move through these emotions and also step into this joy space because there's beautiful opportunities at your fingertips. The divine is like knocking at knocking at your door, which is like your aura, your energy bubble, and like, hey, we've got some cool stuff for you. Just, look up a little bit. So that was a funny visual, but hopefully that helps somebody. So, anyways, with that, I hope that this helps. If so, let me know in the comments below. And definitely do something today that maybe brings a little bit of joy in. Alrighty. Well, if you like this message, you can hit that like button. And if you would like to see more content from me, you can hit the subscribe button. It is free, it doesn't cost anything. And I will see you on the next one. Bye.